been absolutely insane.
I'm ready to run through a wall.
We're going to run some clock, or maybe some attack.
This team is destined.
The Eagles escaped Minnesota with a win, and by all means, this was not perfect. Offensive line, another game, horrible. Saquon Barkley, 44 rushing yards, nowhere near what Saquon Barkley has to be for this offense. But Jalen Hurts was out of his mind tonight. Great game out of him. And here's the thing. This was a huge win for the Eagles. They could not lose 3 straight games. They could not head in and play the Giants after losing 3 straight and expect to win. I mean, and again, I said this on many occasions. If the Eagles lost this week, there was serious concern of hitting the panic button. The panic button would be hit. It would be smashed. Panic button would be smashed. Eagles could have lost today. And if they played a real quarterback and not Carson Wentz, who in my mind, this guy not only stunk, but he has just no football IQ. Like when you watch Carson Wentz out there is just no knowledge of the game. Like he's just he doesn't use his brain in the right way. If they played a real quarterback, there was serious concern that the Eagles would have lost this football game. But I thought Jalen Hurts played great. And I thought your red zone defense held them every time. They did every time. They played great. But I mean, again, there's some serious concern with this offense still. I'm not out here saying that they're changed, they're fixed, everything's better now, and that this is a totally new team. By no means, that's not what this is. But I'll tell you right now, there still is concern for this football team, especially offensively. Defensively, I thought they played well. They got some pressure, or they got a lot of pressure on Wentz. They were hitting him hard. And I was proud to see that because that was a talking point for me all the post-game shows. Eagles have to do a good job every week getting pressure on the quarterback. And they did that with Carson, man. They tore him apart. They tore that O-line apart, and they crushed Carson Wentz consistently. It's great to see. So, I know it may seem like I have mixed emotions. I'm happy about this win. I'm proud of this win. This was a good win. A huge win. You have no idea how pissed I would be if we were heading back home, play the Giants after losing 3 straight. But there is still, like I said, there's still concern. Saquon's definitely a concern. This offensive line is a concern. Outside of what A.J. Brown, outside of the passing game, what does this Eagles team have? Like if Jalen Hurts didn't have the game that he had today, and if the Eagles were not playing Carson Wentz, what would this Eagles team be? What would this game be? I mean, it would be a loss. It would be a loss. If the Eagles lost today, lost to Wentz, and by all means, Wentz didn't have the best day, eyes-wise, and especially with those 2 interceptions. But he did have a lot of passing yards, though. There is some times he made some big-time throws. But if Carson Wentz had just a little bit more football IQ, knowledge of where he is on the field, just stop making stupid plays over and over and over again, the Eagles could have lost. They seriously could have lost. So what's up, everybody? Welcome on in to Broad Street Sports, your home for the best Philly sports talk every day and unfiltered. This is the Eagles post-game show. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. You guys want to call into the show, 215-839-8246. That's the number to get in. Number is on the screen. Again, 215-839-8246. I want to get there. I want to get all of your thoughts on this win. I don't know if the tides are changing, right? Like, I don't know if everything's better now. Everything's definitely not better now. But I do feel a lot better after this win because I've been talking a lot about Jalen Hurts. Can the passing game be good? What is this passing game? Because we've seen a good passing game here, a good passing game here, not sustainably well enough. But Jalen Hurts, out of his mind. Out of his mind. I'm proud. I said this last week. I said this, following that Giants game. I said, what we saw out of Jalen Hurts throughout this entire season is just not good enough. I flat out said that. Just not good enough. And after one game, has my opinion of Jalen Hurts changed? No. Do I think that Jalen Hurts now all of a sudden is back to his other forms? No, I don't. But he played a great game today. So I'm going to read you some of Jalen Hurts' stats here. 19 for 23 passing, 326 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. And when I watched Jalen Hurts today, I thought he did a great job reading the blitz. I thought he did a great job scrambling. I thought he did a great job actually extending plays. Because the Jalen Hurts of this year, outside of this game, he would just go out there and he'd have a hard time extending plays. He'd just give up the sack. He'd just throw the ball away. But Jalen Hurts picked up on the blitz. I thought he handled the blitz well. Maybe there's sometimes he got hit hard, but thought he handled the blitz well. And on top of that, he really extended plays. He allowed guys to get open. He let his offensive line do work, and that line's bad, man. I mean, they are bad. It is like, and Cam Jurgens wasn't even having a good year. And it's bad. Mailata not good enough. Steen's not good enough. This O-line again's a problem. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you have to look at the positive now. Like, I think you can obviously build on this win. This was a huge win. It's a building block. This is a stepping stone to what this team. And this is why, here's the thing. This is why I and so many other people got so upset the way the Eagles were playing. Not sustainable, not consistent football. That's why we're all upset. You know what I mean? A lot of us are upset about the way that this team has played throughout the season because we realized how good this team actually is. Look, we know the potential of this football team. We know that when Jalen Hurts is playing his game, Jalen Hurts can have a game like this. We know when Saquon Barkley finally gets going, that's a huge difference maker. And we know that they're capable of passing the ball the way they did today. And we know they're capable of running the football like they did last year with Saquon. And we know, as much as we talk about this offensive line, we know that the O-line can do a good job. Hey, they definitely did not do a good job today or throughout the entire season. But this is why me and everybody else, we get so upset and angry at the team because they're not playing up to the potential that we know they can play week in and week out. I know the score was close. Game was definitely close. But what I saw from the offense today is potential to flip the script. You got the Giants next week. That should be a win. It should be a win. You got the bye week after. So you got this win. You got the Giants next week at home. And then after that, you have the bye week. Let's get things right. I talked about, and a lot of people talked about, the fact that this is not like the get-right defense. The Vikings defense is not a get-right defense. They're a very good team. They're a very good defense. They're going to blitz the hell out of you. And I thought the Eagles did a great job with that. But I look at positives, and there's also still some negatives. But this could really be a change of something. You could win the next 2, go in, winning 2 straight into the bye week, and come out stronger than ever. I think the bye week, last year we talked about how the week 5 bye week was at a great spot. I think this bye week, too, is at a very good spot for the Eagles, too. I really, really do.
What up?
Game, man.
Good. Good. It's always good to win games like that. Just keep building up as many wins as you can before the gauntlet actually hits.
No, I agree. I mean, you had a bad, what was it, 2-game stretch?
Yeah.
You had a bad 2-game stretch, and here you are. You could go into the bye week winning 2 straight. And again, I said this right before I put you on. I said that this Eagles team, like last year, we talked about how the Week 5 bye week was at a great spot, but I think this bye week is also this year at a great spot too.
Oh yeah. I agree. Play calling is still, it's a lot better than how it was, but it's still a little sketchy. Same with some parts of our defense, like Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, I want to say he was really bad. I'm not saying Carson Wentz was good, but he had a lot of wide open throws. Some parts of it, the defense are still sketchy. Some play calls are still sketchy, but team's looking a lot better than what they did.
No, I do agree, and I believe that this Eagles team could honestly, kind of flip a script here. I think this was a big win. I think a lot of people, including myself, doubted this team. I think we obviously way overhyped Carson Wentz. We're like, oh, Carson Wentz is going to shred this defense. Didn't play a horrible game. Didn't play a great game. But I said his football IQ was just not good enough. The Eagles played a real quarterback. They had a real chance to lose. But I think you're in a good spot right now. You're 5-2. Got a game against the Giants next week. And then you got the bye week. You have to build on this now, right? It wasn't a perfect game, wasn't the prettiest of games by any stretch. But you're in I really do believe you're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I agree. I still don't understand why this run game is like how it is. Well, why can't we just try like Wildcat? Put Saquon in Wildcat, or do something with Saquon instead of run up the middle or halfback stretch, because those are the only 2 run designs we like to call.
Right. Well, I do agree. And, Saquon Barkley has not had a good game, has not had a good year either. I mean, again, 18 carries for 44 rushing yards. That's just not good enough at all by any stretch. I mean, 44 yards and 18 carries is not good enough by any stretch. And a lot of that largely to blame is how bad this O-line has been, right? Like this O-line's been bad. And a lot of it is also just like the play calls that Patullo has for the run. Not good enough.
Yeah, I also think, like, you look at this time last year to right now, this team has a lot of injuries. We didn't really have a big injury last year. Like, the whole line was healthy all year for the most part. Saquon was healthy. I mean, he had a few games where, he was a little banged up, but, he was in pain. You could see he was in pain today. Our defense is banged up. I mean, we just got Nakobe Dean back, which is huge. But, they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now.
They are. They're a banged up football team. And I think that even with how banged up the team has been, I think they've done a good enough job. Like, I think, the way that we looked at it, and I think the way people really need to look at this is, the Eagles are 5-2, has not been the prettiest 5-2 by any stretch. They've somehow held on to games. They've somehow come back in games. That's football. But and all those games, I said I don't know how they get better from here, because the play calling has been bad. The execution has been poor. But today, like I said, they showed potential offensively. The play calling, the execution, it all showed potential to me. The run game, there was a couple times where Saquon Barkley, if he just hit the right gap, hit the right spot, he could have broken free. He had a couple plays where he did have a nice little run. So I think if you can get this O-line healthy, it could really do wonders. But I mean, you're really thin now with Adoree Jackson going down. I don't know if it was a stinger or concussion, whatever it is, right? Him going down, that hurts this team big time. And you're already lacking at cornerback. So I know I just look at this and I say, well, good win. Great to bounce back. Good bounce back game. Let's get right for the Giants. Let's put these guys to bed. And we'll see what happens. But like I said, this offense really did show some potential.
Yeah, before I go real
Yeah.
quick, the one thing I didn't like, first half we targeted, I don't know how many times we targeted, but A.J. Brown had one catch for a touchdown the entire first half. I mean, he's got to have more than one catch. Just scheme him open. Let's get A.J. Brown in a groove. We can obviously pass it to Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, but, you know what I mean? Why is A.J. Brown only having one catch every half? Scheme him open, give him a screen, or, just put him on a drag or a slant or a comeback. Something. Let's get him in a groove.
No,
You saw what happened when Devontae Smith was in a groove. A.J. Brown in a groove is a lot better than Devontae Smith in a groove.
No, I agree. And Alex, thank you for the phone call. I do agree, right? But, I don't think that this is the week where we can be talking about, a passing scheme, right? Like this was a well-executed passing game, well-executed, just offensively passing, route running. Like I thought it was great. And I do agree. I think we do obviously need to get the ball to A.J. Brown a lot more, especially in the first half. Get him going because when we got Devontae Smith going, that worked wonders. And A.J. Brown had a great second half. But could you imagine if we actually worked A.J. Brown in the first half, got him heated up? We could have really have won this game by a large margin. I thought, they showed a little bit of good stuff in the first half. But whatever they talked about in halftime or whatever, they came out in the second half and played a very, 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 very good football game offensively, passing-wise. Because the running game has not been good, of course. But I think that it has been – I think the passing game has been good, especially tonight. Today, the passing was great. And that's all you can say, though. That's all you can say. Passing game was out of this world. Again, you're just tuning into the show. Jalen Hurts, 19 for 23 passing, 326 passing yards with 3 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure this is the first time Jalen Hurts has had over 300 passing yards since the middle of last year. Maybe it was in the Super Bowl. So this is great. Then again, I didn't believe that this was the get-right defense for the Eagles. Like, when they're playing the Vikings, this is definitely not a get-right defense. But whatever they did, maybe got them right. Maybe it got them right. Maybe everybody doubting them and what they're able to do. People saying that they're going to miss the postseason. All this stuff. Maybe, just maybe, you're at a point in time now where tides are changing. Things are changing. Maybe Patullo's finally settled in. I still think Patullo's a problem, but, maybe Patullo's there now. I don't know. I don't know. But again, I just, where I'm at with that is I'm just seeing more positives today than negatives. And, and I'm sure maybe that's going to change throughout the week as time goes on. But I don't know. Again, I said it like it is. Said it like it is all week, all day, all show. This is a get right. You're in a good spot now. You're in a great spot. You can win. Let's build on this. Right? Because you were supposed, when you went through this, right, you were supposed to win all of these games. When we talked about, when the schedule first came out, we talked about the Eagles, the first 4 weeks where they're going, right? When you got to go Dallas, then you got to go Kansas City, then you went the Rams, then you went the Bucks, right? Like those 4 games, those first 4 games, that was the first gauntlet of the year. People talk that you could have went 2-2. You went 4-0 in that stretch. Not the prettiest of football games. You had the win because of a block kick against the Rams. You somehow won against the Bucks. You won against Dallas because of a drop pass by CeeDee Lamb, right? And we got through all of that. Then you got to play the Broncos, the Giants, and we talked about, well, when you go the Broncos, the Giants, the Vikings, and the Giants again. That was supposed to be, you're supposed to be 4-0 right through there. You weren't supposed to be 4-0 right through that stretch. You have an opportunity now. Let's build now. You got through the first 4-week gauntlet. Great. You had a hiccup against the Broncos and everybody and the Giants. Fine. Now you're in a spot. What's up, man?
Hey,
On the line.
Brian,
Yo,
what's going on with Barkley, man? What do you think?
I don't know. The offensive line's bad. It's a bad O-line. It's just, you know what I mean? I think it's a bad offensive line. They're banged up, and even when they're healthy, Mailata's not been good. Juergens has not been good, and, but they're definitely not healthy. And on top of that, I just think that the run designs have not been good by any stretch either.
You think Barkley's playing hurt?
I don't know if he's playing hurt, but I think there's a fatigue from last year, though. I really believe that there's a fatigue from last year.
I mean, I got him. Listen, he's my number one running back in fantasy football, and I'm contemplating on benching him next week. The guy's not doing it. The offensive line's not doing it. The Eagles aren't doing it. I mean, right now, I don't know if the Eagles could beat a good team right now.
Well, I would have to agree with you, right? You know what I mean? Like when they beat the good teams, they escape with wins every time they played a good team. And Saquon Barkley has not been good. Now, I don't know if I'm going to tell you to take Saquon Barkley out because in my mind, he's way too good. And at some point, he's going to turn on the Jets. Like at some point, there is going to be the Saquon Barkley we saw last year. I just don't know when that is. But to your point, I think if the Eagles played a real quarterback today in Minnesota, they could have lost, and they probably would have lost. But I think Saquon Barkley's been really bad, but I don't blame it fully on him. I think he has fatigue from last year, 1. 2, the offensive line's been bad, and 3, the play designs have been horrible. I mean, it's the same 3 run plays every time.
Well, I'm going to leave you with this, but I feel like watching the Eagles every week is they're just showcasing one player. They can't get all 3 of their superstars on the same page each week. This week they showcase Smith. Smith goes out and has his best game of the year. It's like they're forcing the ball, it seems like, to kind of make these guys happy, and they're just not feeding them all enough each week.
No, I do agree with that. I think and that's the problem because this team they're predictable. Like when they're going to go. Like I think they've attacked. Like the first couple weeks of the season they were attacking Dallas Goedert. Then you also know that they're not really going to get any production out of Saquon Barkley, so they're going to pass the football. But there's some sort of problem where Jalen doesn't really want to throw the ball to A.J. Brown, and it's just Devontae over and over and over again. Now, I think A.J. Brown got the ball a lot more today, of course. But I do agree. Like, they do attack one player every game, and I don't know if that is sustainable either. I think you do have to get everybody involved.
Yeah. One more thing. You being a prep alum and everything. You guys going to be able to get it done against Spirit this year? I mean, last year was a heartbreaker, huh?
Well, I would hope so. That'd be great. I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't see why Prep couldn't beat Spirit this year. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I got Prep minus 20.5 in that game. So.
All right, there you go. Take that to your bookie.
Good talking to you.
Thank you for the phone call. Wow. Not only Eagles football talk today, St. Augustine Prep football talk today. Wow. Look at that. Wow. Again, And I'm not going to talk about prep football, but prep football should be easily able to beat the Holy Spirit by 30. I mean, by 30. I mean, the prep is way bigger than Spirit anyway. And there's no reason why prep shouldn't be able to blow out Holy Spirit in a big game. I don't. There's no reason. There's no reason why they don't. Hurts is a go. Yeah, well, Hurts had a great game. Not going to call him a goat by any stretch, but he did have a good game. Corners are still a problem. The corners are bad. Again, like I'm sitting here and I'm talking about how good, how I like the pressure that they got on the quarterback. I'm proud of that. I'm happy about that. But I don't know how sustainable that is. Right? Like I don't know how sustainable that is. I mean, I've seen through 6 weeks of the season where this team has had a horrible time trying to get people through and get pressure on the quarterback. So just because one game, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, our defensive line's great again. No, I still think we're missing a lot of key pieces in this team. I really, really do. Your Eagles takes way better than your Phillies takes. Nah, I'm honest with both. I'm honest with both. The Eagles showed potential today, and the Phillies, they're a dumpster fire. The Phillies are actually, and I don't want to talk Phillies today. I don't, because they piss me off. But, because this is an Eagles post game. But the Phillies, after Dombrowski said Rob Thompson's coming back, and they just extended Kevin Long, and it seems like they're just running this puppy back. I promise you, the Phillies are actually light years away from winning a World Series. I don't care how good that pitching staff is. The Phillies are light years away from winning a World Series, and it's unfortunate. They got a great pitching staff, but they're just too old. They don't want to mix things up. It is what it is. It's just the same thing over and over and over again for the Eagles. I mean, for the Phillies, and it's bad. It's bad. But I know. Here I am. I'm not telling you it was a perfect game. I'm not telling you it was pretty by any stretch. By any stretch today. There was a couple times, when I'm watching the game with my buddies at my buddy's house. And I'm saying, well, Eagles are going to lose the game right here. This drive is going to cost them. The Eagles are screwed right here. Eagles are losing this game right here. Carson Wentz charging down the field right. Many times throughout this game where I said that thing exactly. But what am I going to do? What am I going to do? They won. Jalen Hurts played wonderful. What are you going to do? I'm proud. And maybe I should be a little more upset. I don't know if I should be upset about this. But at this point, any win, I came into this game, I genuinely came into this football game thinking that the Eagles were going to lose. I came into this football game thinking, well, Carson Wentz is going to shred this defense. Carson Wentz is going to shred Kelee Ringo and Adoree Jackson. That is exactly what I thought. I came in thinking, well, Minnesota's pass rush is way too good for this Eagles O-line. And for Jalen Hurts, they can't handle it. That's what I told myself. That's what I told all of you guys. Wasn't pretty. They took care of business, though. And then in the National Football League, taking care of business is what matters. But I look at the positives from today. I do. I look at the positives from what I saw today. But let's not forget the line has. I mean, I don't see that. I don't see a world where the offensive line could get any better because of how bad, because of how banged up they are. Like, how can an offensive line get better when your starting center goes down? Landon Dickerson's hurt, and you got guys that aren't playing good. Like, maybe, just maybe, Lane Johnson is starting to hit that age now where he's on the decline. Maybe that age is starting to catch up to him. Maybe, just maybe. But Mailata hasn't been good. So I don't see a world where this offensive line could be better until everybody gets healthy again. Until, I don't know what the extent of Juergens' injury is or whatever the case is. But until, Dickerson's fully healthy and, I don't see a world. But I'll tell you this, though. You cannot expect to win a lot of football games, and you cannot expect to win a Super Bowl when Saquon Barkley is non-existent. Like, Saquon Barkley is a huge reason, probably the largest reason of why you won the Super Bowl last year. Not the game, but he's probably the largest reason why you got there, because he opened up the pass game for Jalen. He did. Opened it wide up. And even though teams were game planning for Saquon, he was just taking off. 200-yard games. Oh, he's nuts. He's nuts. So I say it was a large reason. So, again, I don't think you can win a Super Bowl. I don't think you can really win big-time football games until Barkley and this offensive line and just, like, the play calling gets better. I don't see a world where that's the case. I don't. And that's a problem. That's a problem. We got to get there. We got to get there. But as I've said all the show, the gauntlet. You had many gauntlets throughout this season. The first gauntlet was against the first four. So Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks. First four right there. They got out of that one 4-0. Then people said, well, you play the Broncos, then you play the Giants, and then you go and play Vikings, and then you play the Giants again. That's what you said. You had to play both. So everybody said, well, that's an easy 4 wins right there. Broncos, Giants. Broncos, Giants, then and then the Vikings and then the Giants again. That was an easy 4 games right there. But, if you can get out of this stretch, I thought you were losing today. And if you lost today, I seriously thought there was a real chance they lose against the Giants again. But if you can get out of this little hole that you dug, 2-2, be in a great spot. Let's take one last phone call from a caller. What's up, man? Say your name.
Huh?
Say your name, bro.
My name is Brandon.
What up, bro?
All right, what up? So, what am I supposed to do about Kenneth Walker? Why is he actual ass this season?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, you got anything for me? Because I'm kind of getting fucked in this league this year. My Brian Thomas.
He cut out. I can't even hear.
Puka Nacua out. My team, dude, it's falling apart.
Hey, man, I don't know. I don't make some trades or something, bro. You got to make some trades, man.
Obviously. I'm trying.
You got to do something, man. You really do. Thanks for the call. Got to do something. Fantasy football. Got to do something. But, yeah, I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining up in the show. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. It's totally free, 100% free. Subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment and share, but really subscribe and hit the like button because it helps out the algorithm. It helps YouTube and other social media send out my videos to more people so I can get more views, more subscribers, and really help grow the show and grow the brand. And so make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe and go and check out all of my amazing sponsors here: Cafe Merlino, Steak 'em Up, Jason Pillar Tree Specialist, and Wagner Luxury Limo. All their website links are in the description down below. But I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, calling. Eagles are, 5-2 now? 5-2. Giants next week at home. Then we have the bye. I think they're in a good spot right now, and I think the bye week is coming in a great spot. But I appreciate every single one of you. Have a good one. Harper has been absolutely insane. I'm ready to run through a wall.